Hello, Graham here again. Here just literally 5 or 10 minutes out of Hobart on some really good trails here. Wanted to talk to you about running up a hill. Okay, first things first, you get to a hill. Most people, it's this game of like, oh, it's a hill. So the biggest thing for me, and I'll give you some of my tips and tricks, and they're not exhaustive, but just a few of them, is how to tackle the hill as easily as you can. So that when you approach a hill, when you get to a hill, you don't just think, oh, it's more like, okay, what do I do to change to run up this hill? The biggest thing is change your gears. Change your gears. You can't run up the same way as if you're on the flat. The last thing you want to do is be overstriding on a hill, because that takes up a lot of effort, and there's a lot more effort to get up the hill. So one of the first tricks is change your gears, get slower, take smaller steps. The biggest thing is taking a smaller step is so much easier to go up the hill than it is to do that. First things first, lean into the hill. Get into the hill. So you're almost about to fall into the hill. By doing that, you naturally will just lift your feet to get up the hill. And all you have to do is lift your feet. So you naturally just want to lift your feet, lift your feet, lift your feet, lift your feet. That's all you're doing. My way of thinking about it is just like your feet are like sewing machine needles. It's literally just going up and down on the spot. And if it's just going up and down on the spot, and if you start to lean into the hill, you will naturally start to go up the hill. You want to make it as easy as possible, easy as possible. It might feel weird when you first start it, but it actually is the way to run up a hill really efficiently. This might play with your head, but if you want to have a little jingle that helps with that tempo, that cadence that you want to go up the hill, some people have heard it before, row, row, row your boat. So if you have that in your head, you might curse me for this one, but row, row, row your boat. That's kind of the cadence you want to do up the hill. So the last thing you want to do is be taking big strides that take then a lot more effort to get this up the hill. So that's why we're trying to keep it as efficient as possible by just not overstriding. Everything's up, down, and leaning into the hill. Move these, your legs will follow naturally. So if you feel like your cadence isn't high enough, move your hands a little bit. The more you move your hands, the quicker your feet will be. Okay, you'll get to a point, because we're talking about efficiency up a long hill, mountain, whatever it may be. And I've seen a lot of, very good runners overseas running very steep hills. And like, how can they keep that all the way? And it's just being as efficient as possible. So sometimes it comes up to here as well. Have you fueled yourself? Have you taken a gel? Are you fatiguing? And if you are fatiguing, maybe you need to back it off a little bit before you start that whole like, I'm just gonna walk. Because the more you practice this type of running, the more hills you will be able to run, rather than just defaulting, oh, it's a hill, I'm gonna start walking. Which is fine, and sometimes you'll have people walking past you and you think, why am I doing this? It's about practicing it so it becomes second nature, so that you can carry on running up that hill more efficiently. It's a different mechanic walking as it is to running up a hill. So practice this to be more efficient, and so that more and more you do it, it becomes second nature. Stairs, always fun. Biggest one with stairs, as soon as you do that, you've got a lot of mass to get up and over, a lot of energy. So how do you run up the step? Literally, you run up the step, you carry up to here, and then think about getting this bit over the step as far as you can, and then lift your foot. So again, all you're doing is lifting your feet. Get as far as you can, lift your foot. So the biggest thing with hills, doing them as efficiently as you can, is no matter how steep they are, how long they are, get into that mindset of what can I do? What little things can I pull out to make this more efficient running? So you're not defaulting to walking all the time. You've got this bag of tricks to start practicing, learning and using on the hills. Make it fun.